The paranormal interests many of us. A 2015 survey by Chapman University found that more than 40% of Americans believe places can be haunted by spirits. Over the years, hundreds of photos have been presented as proof, but some spirits have made recurring appearances over the years. One such spirit goes by the name of Zozo. The Ouija, also known as a spirit board or talking board, is a flat board marked with the letters of the alphabet, the numbers 0 to 9, the words yes, no and goodbye, along with various symbols and graphics. It uses a small heart-shaped piece of wood or plastic called a planchette. Participants place their fingers on the planchette and it moves around the board to spell out words. There is a lot of controversy surrounding the board, with some believing that it can unleash something truly evil, while others believe it's just a board. For the last few years there has been a growing interest in Zozo. It's said that you can communicate with this spirit if you use a Ouija board. Little has been written about Zozo throughout the decades, yet the reports range from the 1800s to recent days. People from across the world are claiming to come in contact with someone or something calling itself Zozo. So what or who is it? The name Zozo exploded into popularity just a few years ago, when paranormal reality shows began using the name as an explanation for supposed hauntings or cases of demonic possession. It's been spread around that when you use a Ouija board to conjure up spirits, Zozo just might answer the call. When this happens, it means bad news. In every encounter with the entity Zozo, it doesn't usually end well. Some paranormal specialists have warned about communicating with this spirit. The first reported appearance of this entity occurred in 1816, when a girl in France fell victim to a severe demonic possession. She became the vessel for a number of demons, one of which was the mysterious Zozo. Later, when Ouija boards entered popular culture in the 20th century, stories of Zozo began to arise with numerous tales told of the Ouija spirit, the one who devours souls and changes lives. In most stories, Zozo is initially friendly and sometimes uses a different name. Occasionally it will appear in the middle of a conversation with another spirit, and tends to interrupt the communication. The planchette performs strange figure 8s or inverted Zs, and answers become repetitive, but it doesn't take long for an encounter with Zozo to turn negative. In 2012, a user at ghostspace.com shared the story of a confrontation with the Ouija board spirit. Her friend had been asking the spirit board questions about her recently deceased father, which it answered correctly. Then the board suddenly turned its attention to our mother. Again, the board seemed to have a supernatural knowledge of their parents. Then the active spirit seemed to switch again. They asked who it was and the reply was haunting. The pointer spelt out Zozo. On the 7th of July 2018, an eyewitness spotted these strange objects in the sky. They said the following: "My husband and I were sitting on our porch in Hamilton and saw 2 large red orbs. They made no sound and they were floating in the same direction as each other. The objects always stayed very close to one another. We knew they were not planes or helicopters. 10 minutes later, I got a message from my daughter who lived a few miles away, and she was freaking out because she saw the same thing. I was able to snap these photographs. This isn't the only person who has witnessed these objects. Another witness had this to say about her encounter. I live in Texas and I've owned a family farm for many years. When I was young, I started to see these glowing objects on our land. They were amazing to watch. They would come down close and even interact with the animals. I would see them once or twice a week. I knew there was something there because the cows would get spooked by them, so I know that it wasn't just my eyes playing tricks on me. These objects would have an effect on the animals. I would describe them as looking like a bright ball that would pulsate. They sometimes reminded me of a human eyeball. They averaged around a foot in diameter and would move very fast. After seeing these objects for years, I decided to do some research. I found out that people all over the world were seeing these things. I thought that perhaps they could have been a natural weather phenomenon, but the way these things moved looked very controlled. I would also see them weaving between the animals and suddenly shoot upwards. On this particular occasion, I was sleeping and noticed a bright light outside my window. I didn't think much of it and guessed it was probably the moonlight. However, my room began to pulsate a bright blue colour. After getting up and looking outside, I saw one of these objects. At first I was startled, but I started to go in a trance-like state. The colours were beautiful and I felt inner peace when I saw this object. After a minute or so, the object shot up vertically and disappeared. I still see them every so often, and to this day I have no idea what they are. They seem to really like the animals. In 1997, theoretical physicist Juan Malsadina already proposed that our universe is not real, and would merely be a hologram. The question that is left is, if our entire existence is a program, then who is running the simulations? According to Oxford philosopher Nick Bostrom, it's quite possible that an advanced civilization with enormous computing power has decided to run these simulations. There are some scientists that believe this theory could be possible. A little while back, thousands of people in China saw what appeared to be a giant floating city. This spurred many theories. However, it is believed the reason we saw this had to do with physics, and the way our eyes perceive objects around us. But a new hologram is being witnessed above Missouri. The eyewitness said the following. On the 28th of February 2015, my husband and our 3 boys were driving home at approximately 10 PM. We were driving west, and I happened to look to the northwest sky to point out the moon to our kids. I saw these 5 rectangular columns of light just below the cloud deck. They were bright but transparent, and immediately reminded me of a hologram. These objects seem to be freestanding. A spotlight beam can be followed from the ground all the way up until no longer visible, or to where it hits the cloud deck. There was absolutely no connecting beam from the bottom of the columns to the ground. The columns of light did not bounce off the cloud deck. In the full hour these were observed, they did not change in size, shape or location. They did not appear to move, nor did the light appear to pulsate or change in density or brightness. I was quite awestruck, but after driving around to look for a source, and after taking pictures of them, we decided to go home and put the kids to bed. After getting them tucked in, I went outside once more to find them in the same place, and unchanged. I've often wondered what these were. I can't find no scientific explanation for them. I posted the pictures on Facebook that same night, and a friend commented that someone else they knew had seen the lights. Some have suggested these are projections for a nightclub or advertisements, but that doesn't explain what the eyewitness was seeing, while others have suggested it's some sort of experiment going on. On the 2nd of June 2018, an individual noticed something strange on the road. The object appeared to be a UFO. The eyewitness said the following. I was going south on 377 and saw a wide load coming to meet me. Traffic was heavy for a Saturday morning. People were quickly moving to the shoulder. In front of the truck was what appeared to be motorcycle cops waving people over very frantically. A saucer-shaped object wrapped in tarps or plastic came flying by heading north. As it passed, I noticed on the rear of the load a fuselage wrapped in plastic. The craft appeared to have a stealth look, and the style nose didn't fit the modern stealth aerodynamic shape. I was able to shoot one photo of my old iPhone 3, but the truck was running so fast I didn't get another shot. In my photo, the object covers 2 lanes. As it passed, I immediately thought it was a plane, due to the fuselage as it gave off the silhouette of a fighter jet. It was going around 65 miles an hour in a 55 zone. This was coming into our busiest part of town. I noted the following. The cops were in short-sleeved shirts and pants but had no helmets, no riding gloves, no sunglasses and no riding jackets. Their bikes had flashing front headlights, but no red and blue warning lights. I've never seen a cycle cop without the above items. 2. The nose on the back of the load looked fake, but was covered so no detail was visible, but the wrap was tight and the shape was clear. 3. The cops were frantically waving and yelling to move over, but at such a high rate of speed a driver did not hear this before having to pull over. 4. There was no apparent wing attachments possible that I could tell. The object seemed semi-rounded front to rear. 5. Speed was excessive and dangerous for traffic conditions, and above posted limits. And 6, maybe oddest of all, no light and escort service was used. No load warning, no yellow light mounted on load, and no banners. Nothing to indicate a permitted load by the state. Some have suggested this could be a prop. One person said the following: "If that was a real UFO, there is no way it would be out in the open. It would have been transported when people weren't around to see it." So what do you guys make of this? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.